Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, and we are a day behind, but we didn't really have much planned for Wednesday anyway, so it kind of works out. We're going to get to Youth Watch Tuesday on a Wednesday here. Hopefully, you guys can handle the radical change in your schedule for 1 week. So, Seahawks obviously won a game for the first time in a while, and part of the reason why is because they got really strong contributions from their young players. And that's pretty much always going to be the case with this team because we do have a decent number of young players on this team. So, let's break it down. I'm not really speaking about anything that is shocking, but on a season wide scale, there are some things that are very notable here. Let's start with the running backs. Ken Walker was our best player on Monday night. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He worked so hard to get the yards that he got. It wasn't like a 200-yard game or anything like that, but how hard he had to work to grind out his, I think it was like 115 yards or something. That was incredible. So, K9, that was remarkable. He's up to 200 touches on the season. If he plays a decent amount in the last 3 games, he's going to get up to about where he was last year. And he's also on the cusp of 1,000 yards. If he plays, basically, if he has an even decent game against the Titans, he's going to be good to go there. 8 touchdowns, PFF grade skyrocketed all the way up to 78.2. I think he was our highest graded player after Julian Love in that Eagles game. So K9, he is absolutely killing it right now. And while I know that the thing that people are going to really remember is the touchdown drive at the end of the game that K9 had nothing to do with. He carried our offense pretty much in its entirety for the first 58 minutes. Charbonnet, much quieter game. I think he had like 16 yards, 4 carries. Did some okay work blocking. He did drop a pass, which I mean, Charbonnet, one of his strengths as a player is pass catching. We can't have him dropping passes. PFF grade fell a tiny bit, 70.5 from 70.6. So, still having a good season. He is probably a game or two away from eclipsing 600 yards from scrimmage, which, I mean, we're going to have two rookies on this team top 600 yards from scrimmage, and we're going to have another one probably get to 200. We can feel really good about that. So both rookie running backs did their thing. Walker more so, but hey, it's a nice backfield. So I already mentioned JSN, and it's not like I need to sit here and sing his praises because we all saw that remarkable catch that he made. Which I mean that catch, I I don't looking at that replay, looking at like the picture of when the ball's coming down. I don't know how he brought that in. I don't know how he completed the process, but that is the kind of stuff people were expecting back when the season started. I think when the hype was building around this guy, but the thing that really stands out to me is that he was lined up outside, and JSN is a pure slot receiver. So if he starts actually doing things as an outside guy, that makes it a little more realistic for him to do something like, say, replace Tyler Lockett down the line. I don't think Lockett's going anywhere yet, but clearly Lockett is not at the level that we're used to having him at. He's getting older, and his he was never going to last a long time in this league, I don't think. He's decided he's not going to take contact anymore to extend the little bit of time he has left, but I don't think it's going to last that much longer. So, like I said, JSN, if he has, unless he completely falls off a cliff these next 3 games, he's getting to 600 yards along with Charbonnet. So, I don't know how many other teams out there are getting that kind of production from two different rookies, but it's one of the great things to be excited about as the Seahawks move through the next couple years. He obviously had the game-winning touchdown. PFF grade went up a tiny bit. Derek Young was on the field for 1 snap and didn't do that much. Nothing to say there. Bobo had 1 catch for 4 yards. Not much to say. He's just continuing to grind it out, but we've found a rhythm here with the receivers that we have. And I don't think there's going to be much room for Bobo to get on the field a ton going forward. So at the end of the day, we just have to trust that he's doing good stuff as a run blocker, excuse me. Offensive line, pretty good from the tackles. Cross allowed one pressure in 61 snaps. His run block grade went up a little bit, but his overall grade went up as well. So that was a really good game from Cross. He looked like a future franchise left tackle, and it's not easy playing against that Eagles front. I know their defense as a whole is bad, but that doesn't change the fact that you're going up against very talented pass rushers when you're playing the Eagles. So Cross was awesome. Lucas was pretty good as well. He's obviously got some work to do, but he only allowed one pressure. His grade did go up a little bit. Obviously, he's working from a pretty he's working from a deficit, but Lucas headed in the right direction. I thought he played a pretty decent game, so I'm happy about that. Anthony Bradford, I mean, he's not ready. He's not ready, and it was fun for a little while there because there's talent, there's potential. I'm excited for the future of Anthony Bradford, but a game like that really highlights he's too young and he's too inexperienced. He got humiliated over and over and over again. His PFF grade was atrocious. He gave up 5 pressures, which I know that doesn't sound that bad, but he's a right guard. You're not supposed to give up that many pressures as a right guard, like, ever. So, yeah, at this point, unless he gets the ship back, on track next week, I think Phil Haynes might be coming for that job because Phil Haynes comes off IR after the Titans game. So, assuming that he's actually able to go at that point, I think you're obligated to stick him in there and see if you get better results. Cam Morris had 2 tackles on limited snaps. PFF grade dropped by like 0.3 points. Doesn't mean anything. Um, I have been pleasantly surprised with Cam Young. I think he's playing pretty well overall, and I kind of wish we'd play him more. That's what I'll say about that. For the little bit we've allowed him to play, I've seen enough that I like to feel like I'd rather see a little more Cam Young than see Jarran Reed work himself to the bone every single week. I'll say that. Boye Mafe just had 1 tackle in this game. Still no sacks. He's been sackless for a little while now. He did have a pass breakup or knockdown or whatever you want to call it, where he got the closest thing to pressure on Hurts that we basically had the whole game. So that was a nice play. PFF grade was basically stagnant. And I mean, I still think he's doing his job fairly well. It's just not going to be he's still trying to adjust to trying to be the man, and it's going not terribly well, but it was definitely better when he was working with Nwosu. Get well soon. Derek Hall, I think he. Hold on, let me check the. Yeah, he had 1 tackle in this game. Nothing really to say there. He's just not really a contributor in any meaningful way. Woolen had 1 tackle in limited snaps. PFF grade dropped a little bit. He was not well regarded by PFF in this game. Kobe Bryant had did he I don't yeah, no, he did not do much of anything. He was on the field for 6 snaps and his PFF grade went up a tiny bit, and that's it. So yeah, as we got onto the defensive side of the ball, it's definitely underwhelming, but the offense, which I would argue is a little more important right now, we had some really good young players in this game. See you guys later. Go Hawks.